Welcome to the dumbest smart guy podcast on the planet. This is the Central Unintelligence Podcast.
All right, welcome everyone to the CIA's favorite podcast, Central Unintelligence Podcast. My name's Josh. I'm here today with good buddy Adam.
Salutations.
And this episode is going to be about, it's kind of going to be more about specifically North Korea, but it's also going to be about a little bit maybe with the Middle East. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where the fuck this goes. But anyways, if you want, please support us because we need your help. All right, we need your assistance. We need to get 19 more subscribers to unlock live fucking broadcasts on goddamn YouTube.
We need you to.
And the guy who does it, like, there's people that do it now, and it's so terrible. It's so fucking whack. And I know we can just do so much better than them and take all their fans and make them homeless. So with your support and your help, we can make other YouTubers homeless. So please, 19 of you, or one of you that makes 19 accounts. If you're in the NSA or the CIA, you probably got guys that do this shit all the time. Just, if you could, just get into YouTube and just add 19. Just make it up and just give us the right number that we need so we can do live broadcasts.
If you like your news with a wrestling flair to it.
Yeah, with fucking pageantry and passion, then you should fucking help us out. If you want to follow us on social media, we do need people on TikTok because, again, you can't do live fucking broadcasts without having a certain number of followers. So do the same thing for TikTok, Game Rage Magazine. Also, fuck it, just do it on Instagram if you got that too. Same thing, Game Rage Magazine as well. Follow us on Twitter, Game Rage Mag, Twitter/X. Adam's at All Gas No Trash Official, and you can check out the All Gas No Trash podcast. You can follow Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast on Instagram, and you can check out the Anime Syndicate podcast if you like anime and shit like that. If you're a weeb, check that shit out. All right, so North Korea. Pretty much, well, not pretty much, confirmed. The confirmations have been confirmed that North Korea does have military personnel in the Ukraine.
Verified by U.S. intelligence.
Correct. Also, we've seen pictures of now at some of the Russian forward operating bases. They are flying not only the Russian flag, but also the North Korean flag, therefore indicating there is a North Korean presence there.
I have a terrible thought.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's because I've seen videos of, I don't know if it's like the barracks or whatever, that these North Koreans are getting gear, a backpack and all of that shit, for whatever, to be sent off. Like, damn, it's really expensive for these guys that are just going to be thrown into the fucking meat grinder.
They're just going to be killed immediately. Yeah, that is a lot of money that they seem to be wasting. One of the... Where was it? Okay, so that was the thing. So they have... The estimate of troops is that they have 12,000 personnel in the Ukraine. And that includes 500 officers and 3 generals. So when you look at the breakdown of... what that equates to in terms of unit size or whatever, that's essentially what the fuck happened here? I lost it. That's essentially like a division. You've got a division of guys, or essentially 3 brigades, because it's between 10 and 15,000 guys is where it's. So you have essentially an entire North Korean division of infantry personnel, or, well, we don't know if it's all infantry, but you've got an entire division of personnel stationed now in the Ukraine, going to likely be conducting combat operations. Now, that's a problem because everyone is saying, this needs to be the red line, right? And now this is where it gets a little tricky, and people fucking want to say, who are you, America, to say that people can't go help their friends, because you guys help your friends all the time in combat zones. Who's to say that we can't do that? And, my response to that is, because we're America, bitch. That's fucking why. We put more money into our shit than anyone else, and we can come fuck you up from halfway across. We can send a plane from our country to your country to destroy it, to turn it to glass, and then come back without it ever having to touch the ground, right? If you don't have that ability, then you just need to shut the fuck up. You just need to, if someone tells you to do something that can do that and you can't do it back to them, you just got to do what they say. You just don't have a choice, all right? That's just how it goes, right? So that's who the fuck we are to say that. Now, sure, that's me being, Josh and punching it up. But now we are actually saying, several congressmen have sent letters to Biden saying like, hey, the House, I think it's the House Intelligence Committee or the House Military Services Committee or Armed Services Committee or whatever it's called. They've sent letters to Biden saying, hey, now that this is fucking for real, if they use them, if we document and determine that they're used in combat, the United States needs to directly get involved in the Ukraine and directly authorize strikes within Russia to stop this. Why is this the red line? Why is this the big deal? Because some North Korean assholes came around? This is just a convenient excuse, I think, to push forward with this whole Ukraine deal. And I can't believe they gave us the fucking excuse, because now it's 2-on-1 basically. Well, now there's got to be an equalizer, and maybe it's not us directly, but maybe we let Poland go in, because Poland's been itching to do shit. Maybe we let them send some guys in to help them out. Also, we won't even probably need to do that because South Korea says, oh, since you guys are going, guess what? Now we want to go and fight in the Ukraine on the side of the Ukrainians. And what's great is South Korea is not a NATO country, so this doesn't affect any treaties. This doesn't affect shit. And I've been seeing a lot of misinformation come out today on Twitter, primarily individuals talking about how this is a violation of the 1953 armistice agreement, ceasefire armistice agreement between North and South Korea. And people are referring to it as a treaty, blah, blah, blah. The 1953 armistice that essentially didn't end the Korean War, but it just put it on a pause. It's just a ceasefire. It's a long-term ceasefire, essentially, with the intent that the parties would get together and, figure it out, right?
Which they have not.
Which, to this day, they have not. So this has been a 75-year fucking, ceasefire. The ceasefire only applies to North Korea and South Korea, and it only applies to combat operations within the country of Korea, within the Korean peninsula, right? It doesn't apply to anywhere else in the world. So all these people saying, this is it, this is going to be NATO getting involved because this is going to have, the North Korea is violating the armistice. They're not violating the fucking armistice in this regard. Yes, they violated terms of the armistice, I think, 300 times in the history of it by, gathering things or engaging in some little weird incursions on the DMZ or the military demarcation line. But that's neither here nor there. North Korea is free to, just because they're involved in a ceasefire, doesn't mean that they're ceasefire from everything else that they want to do. So that's just bullshit. People going around saying that. That's just wrong. But it does add now the further implication if North Korea and South Korea start clashing, start fighting each other in Ukraine, that's now opening the door for North Korea to just say, fuck it. We want to go ahead and reunify Korea now. We're tired of this shit. And obviously, they've done that recent thing we talked about in the last episode about blowing up all the train lines and all the roads going into, South Korea that they shared that were mutual roads. Now they're building these football-sized field defilades where those roads were now. That's a lot of the satellite reconnaissance is coming out showing that I don't know why they're doing it or what they're getting at, but they're building these huge defilades in and clearing out these huge 100-yard, it's a little football field on these things, on these sites of where these roads and these train crossings used to be. On their side of the border, obviously. Kim Jong-un has also ordered all of the border individuals that are in the military, the artillery. He sent a lot of assets to the border with South Korea. A lot of it being artillery, implying that, hey, if you guys do show up over there and you fuck up a couple of our guys, we might just say fuck it and just start launching artillery into South Korea. and re-kick off this whole fucking thing. Because at that point, what's it matter, I guess? If you guys are just going to fight each other again in another fucking country, who cares? So I do think that provides yet another flashpoint, yet another match over the tinder of what is going to be World War III potentially starting, right? It's just another thing to add to the mix.
Yeah, what's holding this thing back from escalating to, well, we got one party involved in North Korea and another in South Korea taking on both sides. I mean, it's not going to stop there. There's probably going to be a second, third country that jumps in and say, well, we're just protecting, or we're just ensuring that our borders are safe by fighting this proxy war. Yeah. I mean, maybe not so much for South Korea or North Korea, but if it's other European countries, especially like Belarus, that they're like, well, we're afraid for our own danger. And you almost have to say they're almost entitled to the way they feel about how this is playing out, because the thing about because between Israel and Iran is Lebanon, right?
No, it's not. It's just to the north of Israel. It's not actually in between them, I don't think. It's just to the north of Israel. It's like on the northern border.
Okay, so what's the buffer between
them and it's
is it Jordan?
It's Iraq, it's Jordan.
Okay, so is it Jordan? Fuck, I need to know my geography.
Yeah, it's Jordan, Iraq. I think those are the two buffers.
Right.
Them, and maybe part of Saudi Arabia. I'll have to pull up the map.
All right, well, in the meantime, I guess what I was getting at is if they were to have face in saying why they feel compelled to do something is because they're concerned about protecting their own borders.
Yeah.
But the real message or the real underlying thing is that, well, we're kind of culminating to escalating to world war because now everybody thinks they have to stick in their 2 cents, or rather stick their finger in this thing because now it's escalating.
Yeah, precisely. It looks like it is, it's Jordan and Iraq, and then a piece of Saudi Arabia. So it's those three things.
Wait, where's Lebanon? Fuck, I don't even know my geography anymore, dude.
So Lebanon is right here. So here's Israel. This is their northern border. Where is it? Where's the line? Right here. So Lebanon's to the north.
North of it, and then where's
Syria's?
Iran?
Where's Iraq? Iraq's over
Not
here.
Iraq, Iran.
Iran's right here. So we got Israel here, and then you got Iran way over here.
Yeah.
So in between Iran and them is Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan, basically.
I got you.
So that's where shit that's gonna attack Israel has to come from there. So
I'm fucking retarded. I could have sworn Iran was like closer to Turkey, but I'm just
not even. It's not even close. Yeah. But anyways, so you've got all these things happening, right? And then we've got, again, the Israelis continuing to increase their bombing campaign in Lebanon as well as Syria.
They're wiping out people. I just don't remember who they killed recently.
They killed one of the leaders of Hezbollah. And they've just been killing dudes in Lebanon that are all associated with like Hezbollah and whatnot.
So their leadership is getting wiped out.
Yeah, they've been taken out there. But see, that's the problem with what we kind of talked about before is it almost doesn't matter who the physical person is that's in charge because this Hezbollah is an ideology. So like you're not going to kill that because it's irrelevant to who's running it. They all share the same ideology. So you could have some asshole in there, but the people are still motivated to do it because they're not following the leader. They're following the ideology, essentially. So what they're really doing that's effective or seemingly effective is taking out their cash. They're taking out their banking systems, which is what they've been doing by detonating all these buildings in Lebanon because they're finding out where all these banks are at. And these banks that are utilizing that Hezbollah is utilizing for money storage is they're all cash. That's part of their allure is there's nothing digital, so you can't. The U.S. couldn't come in or and just like seize your digital asset bank account. It's all cash. So if you're blowing up the banks, you're essentially supposedly destroying all the cash. The bank is saying that, oh no, that's not. We don't have anything in these places. We moved it all out like months ago once this shit started cracking off. So the Israelis are just blowing up like innocent civilians and not actually damaging Hezbollah. They're just blowing shit up. So Yeah, whether that's true or not, who the fuck knows? There's no way to tell what the truth is in that. We're still waiting for Israel now to respond to the Iranian, launching that happened or whatever now a couple, like 3 weeks ago. They're still blue balling us. They're blue balling us just like the Iranians blue balled them, which that's what I think is exactly happening. They're just fucking gonna make them wait. And in the whole meantime, Israel's been saying we don't give a fuck. We're gonna attack your nuclear sites. We're gonna attack all this shit. Iran went from saying if you attack us in any way, we're gonna fucking come after you like 18-fold, and then now they're kind of like, well, as long as you just attack like military bases and like any storage facility that we have drones and any storage facility that we have missiles at, like we're okay with that. You can attack those. But do not attack our oil and gas infrastructure and do not attack our nuclear sites. That's it. That's the two things that they said is the red line. I don't know if Israel's ready to fuck around and find out potentially with Iran. Just fuck around. I don't know which one of them will find out because Israel's got us to get their back. So I know we've told them on the official statement that we do not support them attacking Iran in terms of their nuclear sites as well as their oil and infrastructure sites, because Iran's response has said that they will just blow up Saudi Arabia's oil sites, Jordan,
do it.
Fuck.
See, if you got the goods, then
do it.
Fucking do it. We'll call your bluff, bitch.
So who knows where the fuck that's gonna go.
And also, I do want to say, that we don't have any problem with people within countries like Iran and fucking Israel and shit. Because I know this has more to do with the government than anything else.
Right. And it's not a legitimately, well, seemingly not like a legitimately elected government, I guess. But no government really is legitimately elected. But the everyday Iranian probably doesn't give a shit about this for the most part. Just like the everyday Chinese person doesn't give a fuck about, oh, fuck America or blah, blah, blah. They just want to eat, all right? Same thing with the North Koreans. Like, these motherfuckers just want to eat. So I don't think they give a fuck.
That's the worst part, man. Their first meal is going to be on a battlefield.
Hey, man, the first real meal you've ever had in your life is a Russian MRE. That sucks.
The first and last meal you're ever going to fucking have
will be a Russian MRE.
Fucking borscht and pickled fish and other Russian delights.
Let's just see what the Russian MRE fucking menu is.
Pierogi. It's going to be fucking pierogi.
Let's see. This is the Russian Federation 24-hour combat ration pack. It's $80.
How can you
buy it on the internet?
How can you buy an MRE if they're not like you're not allowed to purchase MREs, right?
No, you can buy them. They're for sale all over the internet. Shit that's gonna expire, like the U.S. government ones, they get rid of them. Like if they're gonna expire, like they'll sell them.
Like you couldn't buy an actual U.S.
Yeah, you can buy a legitimate like military
it's
MRE.
After the fact that they're gonna expire, though, right? It's not like you could purchase. It's not like you could purchase them directly from the actual.
That same company will make a civilian version of it. They call it the civilian version, but it's basically the same fucking thing.
Well, what's in it?
So this Russian one has. It doesn't tell me. Oh, I need to. Cause this has got all the ingredients. I don't want that.
Nobody cares about the ingredients.
2024 MRE contents on MREinfo.com. Let's see. These are for. Oh, this is U.S. I want Russian fucking military, bitch. Yeah, Russian military armed food. Let's see. Okay, does it tell me what menu it is and the menu is?
Let's get this out onto a tray.
Okay, so 3 meals. It's got breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So this one's menu. This is, I don't know what menu number this is. Fucking 5. It's got biscuits from wheat flour, 4 sets. Beef meatballs, salted pork fat, pate, liver pate, which is like cat food, basically. Minced meat, porridge buckwheat with beef with potatoes, vegetable ragout, a beverage concentrate, processed cheese, jam fruit, apple puree, chocolate, black tea, black coffee, dry cream, sugar, salt, pepper, a polyvitamin, chewing gum, tablets for disinfecting water.
Condoms. Bubble gum.
Yeah, matches and a wind protector, disinfectant wipe, paper napkins, plastic spoons, plastic knife, right? So
half of it sounds like what the U.S. has for their own MREs and shit.
Yeah, our MREs are pretty legit compared to the other countries, I feel like. But
that paste, fucking liver paste, the fuck.
Dude. That is fucking AIDS. That's probably gotta taste like shit. I kind of want to buy one of these if we can just see if it's any good. And then, we can just Steve 1989 it and get it out onto a tray.
Let's get it out onto a tray.
Oh my God. Individual Russians. Anyways, all right. What else you got? Anything else?
Shit. No, I can't think of anything.
Perfect. Well, that'll be the end of the episode. If you want to fucking check our other shit out, you can fucking go to YouTube and fucking subscribe.
Sick freak.
Fucks. Game Rage Magazine there. Like, comment, subscribe. Game Rage Magazine on Instagram and TikTok. At Game Rage Mag, Twitter/X. All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram for Adam, and Anime_Syndicate_podcast for Frank for the Anime Syndicate. All right, that'll do it for us. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
That was the latest episode of the Central Unintelligence Podcast. Don't forget, subscribe and like on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. We're also on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Also our website, www.GameRageMagazine.com.